It was established to safeguard and protect music publishers as a collective, also ensuring that artists are receiving adequate compensation for their works. That's the Music Publishing Association of South Africa. The organization also wants to ensure that songwriters and publishers' rights are being upheld by the Copyright Amendment Bill, which is not yet passed. To tell us more, we are joined by Music Publishing Association of South Africa chairperson David Alexander. David, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning to you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Let's talk about the Music Publishing Association of South Africa and what its mandate is.
So music publishers represent songwriters. Songwriters are the people who you often see, used to see on the CD or on the vinyl, the really small letters kind of under the names of the songs. But they're the storytellers who write the songs that the artists that you love and connect with perform. Music publishers represent songwriters and make sure that they get paid for their songs wherever they get played or wherever they get used.
So what are the reasons that triggered the establishment of the Music Publishing Association of South Africa?
So in 2014, the Music Publishers Association was established. It was separated from the collection for mechanical copies of music. And it was set up to make sure that there would always be a thriving industry, a leadership cohort that was going to look after the publishers and publishers who look after the songwriters. The Music Publishers Association defends copyright, is an advocate for issues around copyright and the value of the copyright. As we've moved into the digital age, there's been a lot of money that's been lost out of the system because there are no longer physical sales taking place. So although we have a lot of streaming activity, although a lot of people have Spotify or Apple Music accounts these days, certainly the songwriters who used to earn a lot of money from every time a CD was sold have had to look for other sources of revenue. So in the digital age, music publishers have been charged to make sure that these alternative sources of revenue are also taxed, and that's why we needed a good copyright amendment bill. The government knew that they had to change the copyright bill, which had been established pre the digital age, and what they offered to us as a proposal in terms of a draft was not really suitable. We want to make sure that whatever is illegal in the real world is also illegal in the digital world. So we've spoken to government. We've said we don't think that the bill that they've currently drafted is constitutional. The president agreed and sent it back for more consultation. We're hoping to be involved with Department of Trade and Industry and with the committees that are involved in drafting the bill, in redrafting and making sure that we are protected as songwriters and that the value of the songwriter and the songs themselves ensures that the songwriters have a living.
Okay. Now, why do you think the term music publishing creates so much confusion? Because I know that some of our viewers don't actually know what music publishing is.
So publishing generally relates to probably print material. So you understand what a book publisher does. The author writes a book and the book publisher prints the book and releases it and makes sure that it is sold. Music publishers represent songwriters, but there's confusion around that name. Artists often confused with songwriters because sometimes they are the same, but actually songwriters can be completely different to the artists. We represent a lot of producers who work in the studio who are never featured up on stage. You never see an album coming out with their name on, but they're actually behind many of the hits that you enjoy. Publicist is another one that you could confuse quite easily with music publishers.
Yes.
So a publicist is designed to do public relations, to do communications, to do marketing. But I think, the terminology in the music industry is pretty specific. For those people who are in the industry, they need to learn. That's part of what demonstrates that they are part of that community. Anyone who is a songwriter can become a music publisher. They simply need to do a contract with themselves, assign their rights from them as a songwriter to a company as a music publisher, and they can become a publisher. And we actually represent a lot of self-published artists, and we encourage people to control their copyrights because that's their legacy. That's what they're going to leave to their children. So if a songwriter establishes their own music publisher, comes to a publisher like us, we will represent them, help them collect their money from around the world. So if a song gets played in America, or a song gets streamed in the UK, or a song gets watched on TikTok in Japan, all that money has to come back to South Africa, to the songwriter.
All right, David, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All right, that was David Alexander. He is the Music Publishing Association of South Africa chairperson, and he's been speaking to us about the organization which was established to safeguard and protect music publishers as a collective, also ensuring that artists are receiving adequate compensation for their work.